A gas station clerk is in critical condition after being shot multiple times during an attempted robbery. An hour before that, another gas station was robbed. Coming up, I'll have the latest in the investigation.
Frightening moments for a young mother after police say her daughter's father tried to jump out of a second-story window with their 3-month-old baby.
A man is in the hospital tonight after a car hit him. We have an update on his condition.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Shot on the job. You're watching WKYT on the CW Lexington. I'm Kristen Kennedy. A gas station clerk in Lexington is still in the hospital tonight after a robber shot him while he was working. Police are now looking for 3 men they say robbed the victim's station and a second Saturday evening. The shooting happened around 8:20 at the Marathon on Lansdowne Drive. Police believe just before that, the 3 men also robbed the Shell at Lexington Green. WKYT's Mike Byer is tracking the search for the robbers in our top story at 6.
I'm at UK Hospital where a gas station clerk is fighting for his life after being shot multiple times during an attempted robbery. Lexington police believe it's connected to another robbery that happened an hour earlier at another gas station. It all started last night just after 8 o'clock. That's when police were called out to an attempted armed robbery at the Marathon gas station at the corner of Lansdowne and Tartan. When police arrived, they found the 49-year-old clerk shot multiple times. He was rushed to UK Hospital and is now listed in critical condition.
I know Chuck and most of the other workers personally. I used to work there. And Chuck's a great guy. And more or less, he was probably trying to protect the others because that's the type of person he is.
An hour earlier, the Shell gas station at Lexington Green was robbed. Police believe both crimes are connected. They say a white passenger car was seen fleeing from both gas stations. Neighbors who live across the street from the Marathon told police they saw 3 suspects flee the scene in that car.
I was just coming back from outside and literally 7 of them were sprinting across the street. And I mean, I'm glad they did. That's really awesome that they were here to say that they witnessed the car. They witnessed the number of people, so.
Now, Lexington police are looking over surveillance footage to track down the suspects. In the meantime, they ask anyone with information to contact the Lexington Police Department at 859-258-3600. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Police are not giving us the name of that clerk. A Lexington man is in jail tonight accused of putting his baby in danger. 23-year-old Patrick Cannon is charged with wanton endangerment. His arrest citation says he tried to jump out of a second-story window while holding his baby. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner talked to the mother of the child.
A young mother still in disbelief today after police say her daughter's father tried to jump out of a second-story window with his 3-month-old baby in his arms. We talked to the mother off camera, and she said, "I've never been in any situation like this. I'm just not built for it. Seeing her outside that window, I didn't know if he was really going to jump, but it was really scary." Patrick Cannon is behind bars today, facing wanton endangerment charges after police were called to Walnut Hill Apartments after someone called in a noise complaint. Here's how the mom tells us things went down. She says the 23-year-old showed up to her friend's place nearby asking for their daughter, but she says something wasn't right. She says Cannon had a beer bottle in hand, and after some arguing, he grabbed their 3-month-old and she followed him over to her apartment. Mom says they share custody of their daughter, but she wasn't going to let him take her if he was drunk. It's after more back and forth, she says Cannon opened the window, busted out the screen, and hung out the window with their daughter. He almost killed her, she said. "I've been through a lot, but this right here, that was a lot. It was really scary." Mom says she's still shaken up today, but she says she's going to just continue doing what she needs to do to keep her daughter fed and to continue raising her. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
At last check, Cannon was still in jail on a $5,000 bond. Lexington police are still trying to figure out what led up to a crash that put a pedestrian in the hospital. Police say a man was walking across East New Circle Road near Industry Road overnight when a car hit him. We're told he's at UK Hospital in critical condition. The driver told officers they did see the man crossing the street, but they couldn't get out of the way in time. Police say he was not walking in a crosswalk. And a woman is dead tonight after a wreck in eastern Kentucky. The Perry County coroner says a driver lost control on Kentucky 15 last night near the old Fugates Entertainment Center. The car went down an embankment. Emergency crews rushed the driver to the hospital.
A vehicle traveling north on Kentucky Highway 15 at an excessive rate of speed lost control of the vehicle, went over in a culvert and overturned, ejecting one passenger, and they were deceased at the scene.
The coroner says the passenger, Natasha Stacy, died. Investigators believe speed played a role in that crash. Firefighters in Rockcastle County are still trying to figure out what caused a barn fire. The Broadhead Fire Department posted these photos to their Facebook page. They say the fire started in the barn and then spread to a nearby car. The fire also got close to a home and damaged its siding. We are just a few days away from the start of fall, but the temperatures sure don't make it seem that way. WKYT meteorologist Mike Linden is tracking an eventual cool down in our work week.
Keyword there, eventually, but we are also seeing some big change even right now. Look at the live sky camera. That's some sunshine. Haven't seen that in a couple of days. Things are finally beginning to calm down and dry out. Still some pretty thick clouds over top of central Kentucky, producing some very light showers. Nothing like what we saw earlier this morning. If we look at the Defender Radar Network, we are almost in the clear outside of southeastern Kentucky. Still getting slammed in those spots, but it's right on the state line there, pushing into Virginia and West Virginia. The bulk of that rain has moved out, and that is all right along this humongous frontal boundary that has a home near Toronto, Canada, but stretching southward all the way into the Gulf Coast, continuing to push its way eastward, albeit slowly. And as we head into the new work week, those conditions again will change slowly. But if you happen to forget, this is the final weekend of the summer season, the first day of fall this Thursday. Coming up, I'll take you right on through the last few days of the season and then right on into the next one. Kristen?
Mike, a southern Kentucky teenager is being called a hero tonight. The Wayne County Sheriff says one of his deputies went out to a drowning at Twyford's Point on Lake Cumberland yesterday. The deputies started pulling the man, Jeremy Lowry, out of the lake. The sheriff says Deputy Lowry got exhausted and went under. That's when Lowry's son, 13-year-old Caden Lowry, jumped in the lake and pulled the deputy out. He also went back and got his father. The sheriff is applying for a life-saving and bravery award for Caden. Caden's father and the deputy are recovering. And in eastern Kentucky, Hazard Police are recognizing one of their officers. They arrested a person for public intoxication at the annual Black and Gold Festival. The person had a young child waiting in line for a ride, and instead of taking the girl to the police station to wait for social services to pick her up, Officer Jessica Cornett took her on all the rides at the festival. In a Facebook post today, Hazard's police chief said he was proud of his officers, and "I've always told them to do the right thing and police with their hearts. They've never let me down." Funeral arrangements are now set for the husband of a Kentucky woman suffering from cystic fibrosis. Dalton Prager also had cystic fibrosis. Friends of his wife, Katie, were in the process of raising money to move Dalton from a hospital in his hometown of St. Louis to UK so the dying couple could be together. His visitation will be Tuesday afternoon. His funeral will be Wednesday. Both will be in Missouri. Still to come on WKYT on the CW Lexington. A Central Kentucky school celebrates 90 years in business.
Well, only a few hours left of the final weekend of the summer season, and if we look across the state, you can actually see the fact that it's not really raining much anymore. From Louisville to Corbin to Bowling Green to Breathitt County, things are finally improving after an incredibly wet weekend. We look now at the Defender Radar Network. We're not free of the cloud cover yet, but as you can see, the bulk of the rain is pushing off to the east and just getting out of here. We're done with it, really. We're looking at this massive cold front that has very slowly worked its way from west to east across the bluegrass, still bringing heavy rain, now moving into the eastern portion of Tennessee and Virginia and West Virginia. But now behind that front, things are beginning to transition over to being calmer, a little drier, and just more comfortable in the long run. Well, fast forward to 8 o'clock this evening, and by this point, we should only see a few scattered showers left over. very light compared to what we have seen over the past several days. But watch what happens as we head into the overnight hours and into the start of the work week. That cloud cover gets peeled away and temperatures drop back into the mid to low 60s. For the spots still dealing with clouds, that's most of eastern and southeastern Kentucky. Still holding on to the upper 60s, but nonetheless a little cooler than where we were Sunday morning, not to mention the lack of humidity or the decreasing humidity. So things should be more comfortable for you to get the morning commute going for the start of the work week. Heading into the afternoon, temperatures back to the lower 80s. This is pretty much normal for this time of year. And then into Tuesday, we get rid of almost all of the cloud cover and looks like a really sunny, good-looking afternoon for us on Tuesday. In fact, most of the day on Tuesday looks good with temperatures a little warmer into the mid-80s. That's more sunshine for you. So the final few days of the summer season actually ending quite nicely. The first day of autumn is this Thursday. But then Mother Nature, I guess, to herself is thinking, well, wait a minute, let's go back to the summer-like conditions, because that's what we're going to see Friday and into next weekend. The showers, the thunderstorms, and the humidity returns as the moisture cranks up from the Gulf of Mexico again. So the waning days of summer looking pretty good, getting a little warm, though, as we head into the final day or the first day of the season on Thursday. And then for the first weekend of the autumn season, well, looking pretty ugly as temperatures sit right around normal-ish, but we're dealing with summer-like weather, Kristen. Showers, thunderstorms, and uncertainty heading into next weekend. But at least the next few days in the bluegrass looking a whole lot better than what we saw this weekend.
Thank you, Mike. Scott County Elementary School is celebrating 90 years of service. Garth used to be the main school in Georgetown in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. These days, it's one elementary school in town. WKYT Sabira Rayford shows us how county leaders are celebrating the big milestone.
It was a big day for Garth Elementary School. Dozens of people gathered in the school's front lawn to celebrate its 90th birthday. Garth was originally the main school in Scott County for 1st through 12th grade in the 20s. Today, people filled the halls of the school to reminisce about their time. Former and current teachers and students showed up to the event. Outside in the front lawn, former students told stories about their beloved old school. The Scott County mayor says he is grateful for the school. He says he knows Garth contributed to his success in life. After the ceremony, a historical marker for the school was revealed. The school is known for being the first built by the selling of bonds. Geneva Carr is 94 years old, and she says coming back to Garth was a special moment for her.
Oh, seeing people that you hadn't seen for years and knowing that they were a part of your early schooling.
The celebration continues tomorrow. Students will be dressing up as 90-year-olds all day long. In Scott County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
School leaders want to raise enough money to buy all 450 students a t-shirt to keep as a memento. Lee K. Howard's in next with sports, and the Wildcats had to play without their starting quarterback Saturday.
They did. You know, Drew Barker left early in the game with a back injury, but the backup Steven Johnson stepped up and performed. And the Bengals went to the Steel City, but a late fumble call left many Bengals fans shaking their heads. That's next in sports. Kentucky outscored New Mexico State on Saturday on their way to their first win of the season. While the Cats put 62 points on the scoreboard, the defense allowed 42. The first half was a back-and-forth battle with the Aggies scoring on big plays and trick plays, at times confusing the UK defense. But New Mexico State was limited to just 7 points following a few halftime adjustments.
I went right in and talked to the defense because I knew a couple things right off the top of my head before I talked to anybody else. With defensive coaches, that's some things we had to iron out very quickly. But I just told them that it was going to be a long, 60-minute game, and that was not the start of the game that we wanted. But we were going to be fine. Let's get it corrected.
It was a little sloppy at times, and we didn't execute on certain things, trick plays, and those are the type of plays that you have to be really focused in on your guy, on your assignment, and we weren't focused at that time. And I feel like when we came back in at the second half, we came here and we got the adjustments, and they only scored 7, and that was a really good thing for us as a defense.
The Wildcats lost starting quarterback Drew Barker on the first drive of the game. Barker suffered a back injury. He had to be carted off the sideline and was taken to the hospital to be checked out. His status is still unknown. In his absence, though, backup Steven Johnson completed 17 of his 22 passes for 310 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He also ran the ball 51 yards. It's unknown who will start at quarterback next week, but Johnson certainly made his case.
I think I don't change anything at all. Just to prepare like I've been preparing. Go out there and act as if I'm the starter and prepare as if I'm the starter. But just to enjoy this tonight. I'm really not trying to worry about all that.
He really made good decisions, what it appeared, on the sideline of when to pull it down and get some yards with his legs. Made some good decisions on the zone read play where he could pull it and run. Gets aggravating when the quarterback can run it that way. Get you a little off balance, and I thought Steven did that.
Kentucky will now look to make it 2 wins in a row when South Carolina visits Commonwealth Stadium next Saturday. A 7:30 kickoff on the SEC network. The Wildcats have won 2 of 3 over the Gamecocks under Mark Stoops. Perhaps the most impressive team on Saturday played just down the road at Louisville. The Cardinals were dominant against Florida State. Quarterback Lamar Jackson solidified his spot in the Heisman race, going 13 for 20 for 216 yards and a touchdown through the air, and 17 carries for 146 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. But after the game, he gave higher grades to his teammates.
For the offensive line, A+. Got to be an A+. You know, our receivers, A+. I ain't seen no drops. It wasn't like last week. But me, D. Got to be a D. I threw an interception, goal line. No, I think it was 7 incomplete passes I did. Bad balls. So, but overall, I think got to be probably like a 8. I'm gonna get an 8 though, because our team they did a pretty good job on offense.
With the win, Louisville leaps up to number 3 in the new AP poll, matching the best ranking in school history. The previous number 3 ranking came back in 2006. Ohio State moves up to number 2 behind Alabama. The Crimson Tide received 50 first-place votes. Texas A&M, the only other SEC team in the top 10. And although there are 8 teams out of the Southeastern Conference in the latest poll. Week 2 in the NFL brought with it one of the most heated rivalries in football. Bengals and Steelers meeting up for the first time since Cincinnati's wild card playoff meltdown in January. Steelers had a 17-9 lead in the 4th, and adding to it, Ben Roethlisberger finds a wide open D'Angelo Williams on 3rd and goal for the touchdown. Steelers were up 24-9. With 3.5 to go in the game, Andy Dalton dumps off the short pass to Giovanni Bernard, who takes it 25 yards and into the end zone. Bengals get within 8 points of the lead. 2 minutes to play, though, still 24-16. Dalton's pass to Tyler Boyd is complete, but Boyd fumbles the ball. Pittsburgh recovers. The refs say that he wasn't down when he fumbled. Pittsburgh hangs on to get the win 24-16, but was Boyd's knee down before the fumble?
I was told it was down even by the guys on our sideline, the officials, but anyway, it didn't. Obviously, they didn't see it that way overall, so that's all that matters.
You know, you always want to have that feeling of making that play to win the game, not end the game, you know, so I'm going to just get back and work even harder.
Always something when the Bengals and the Steelers meet up. So now, was he down? Was he not down? Looked like he was down to me, but that's not what the officials said.
And how about your Cowboys?
The Cowboys won. It's a good day.
We'll be right back with a final look at weather. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $40 million. Looking forward to some fall weather in about a week or so.
It looks like we'll have to wait for things to feel a little bit more like fall, because here for the next few days to round out the summer season, it will indeed look and feel much like the summer. Temperatures tomorrow slipping back into the lower 80s, but we recover from there and make our way all the way back into the mid to high 80s, and that's right all into the start of autumn on Thursday. 86 degrees, again, feeling more like summer, so maybe opt for an iced pumpkin spice latte as opposed to the hot one there on Thursday. Heading into next weekend, that's when the moisture returns, so the beginning of fall looking a lot like summer. It's still hanging on, and Mother Nature just doesn't want to make up her mind.
The 80s aren't bad, though. I like the 80s, but I did notice you bring the rain back right as soon as we go outside to shoot some football games again.
Here you go, just for your weekend.
I appreciate
just
that.
for you.
Appreciate that.
Hope you'll join us back on WKYT later tonight.